Hello friends, welcome to my channel Go Digit. Today in this video we will learn about the concept of cops in the business central. So if you are already aware about this, then that's very good. Although we will talk about one of the specific cops in the business central. However, if you're not aware about it, then let's have a look from the starting itself. Here, as you can see that one of I have made a very simple extension here, very simple extension. Only two tables are there. Let me delete this permission set as well. Okay, so now basically the thing is, if we go to the settings and here if we type code analyzer, it's strange. It's why it's not coming up anything here. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, so if you go to the extension or if you can type here only code analyzer, so you will see that with the AL extension, we get this section called code analyzer. And if you click on edit in settings.json, here you will see that in this particular parameter, al.code analyzer, we get four cops out of the box. One is the Appsource Cop, second one is the CodeCop, third one is the per tenant extension cop, and fourth one is the UI cop. So, although in this video we will not learn about these four cops, but one of the extra cop which is available in the extensions. Okay, so we will talk about that further, but let's see. Uh, because if you're making an app for the app source, then it is really mandatory that you should enable this. Like how to enable this? It's just that you have to add this, right? Let me delete this up. We have to add this up here and just save the file. But before we save the file here, we have to enable this one as well. al.enable code analysis equals to true. If we don't enable this parameter, no matter if you add multiple cops here, it will not work, right? So for example, let me delete this one as well. Now we have added Appsource Cop. Let's say talk about the code cop. Code cop is also is something very generalized way of how to make your extension or how to refactor your extension based on the guidelines offered by the Microsoft, right? So in this case, it is not like that whether you're making an Appsource Cop, then only you have to enable it, but you have to enable this code cop for almost all the extension, whether you're making PTE, whether you're making Appsource or anything like that. Now, per tenant extension cop is something also very important. Like in case you're making the PTE app, then you must have to enable this just to know that your extension is following all the guidelines of what has been offered by the Microsoft. Now, the last one is the UI cop, which specifically give you the results on the basis of user interface rules, right? So these are the rules which I have enabled, right? Now, if I save this, now we will see that based on whatever code you will write, you will get all the problems here in the form of warnings, in the form of errors. Currently, I'm not getting anything. The reason is that because of I have not enabled the feature that code analysis must be true. So let's do with this thing al.enable code analysis as true. And if I save this, and you can see that now I'm getting all sorts of errors, warnings because of the multiple cops I've added. Now, if I remove this Appsource cop, you will see that certain warnings will go just like that. They are gone. If I remove this one, if I remove this one, now you will see that almost everything is gone. It's just that two warnings are now available. And based on that, file name is not good enough. Okay, so this is the use case of how we basically add code analyzers in our extensions. But as I mentioned earlier as well, today we will not talk about these only. But for example, if I say here, type Google, and here you just have to search for Linter Cop, right? Or if I just go to the VS Code only, just search here Linter Cop. Yeah. So this is one of the extension called Business Central dot Linter Cop. Okay. This is not out of the box when you install the AL extension. But this extension also very important extension, if I could say that if you want to really write your code in a more appropriate manner and you want to identify the errors, issues which you will not get from the existing cops or which you might know after the implementation of your extension at the customer end, right? So, or for all those sorts of issues, if you want to really identify, then my take is that you always enable this while you're writing the code for any extension which you are developing, because it is very important and it gives you very nice amount of errors information or the warnings information, right? So now, as you can see that I have already installed this, and as soon as I have installed this, one section gets added in the VS Code downside, the footer section. This called ALCOPS code. If you click on this, now you will see that I am getting the list of all the existing cops which we have just seen, like Code Cop, UI Cop, Pattern Expression Cop, Appsource Cop. Why only one this is tick is because in the settings file we have enabled only this. Rest the three are not enabled. So this extension actually gives me the flexibility that I can just directly click on this button and give enable any particular cop based on my requirements. So for example, if I disable this, my and click on OK, my warnings are gone. And now because of this extension, we get one more cop here called Business Central dot Linter Cop. Just enable this, click on OK, and now you see as soon as I enable this, I get so many four warnings now I'm getting immediately, which is saying that because I have introduced two tables in my extension, so permission set extension must be there, which is not currently in my extension, right? So this is this is one of the thing, but if you want to click on it, then also you can see here that in the GitHub portion, we have this uh, extension information available. And from here, you will be able to see all the related warnings and the errors which have been added in this extension, right? So the developers of this extension have done really wonderful job that they are on the daily basis adding more and more rules which could enable your extension development much uh, performative and of course less prone to the errors, right? So the thing is, let's say right now it is giving me the permission sets issue. So I know which I did not know before that because of the warnings or errors were not there. Okay, as soon as I enable this, I'm getting this. So what I can do is that I can write generate permission sets. So I'll do that. Okay, so permission sets have been added, and as soon as I added this, it's gone. Now, one more warning is coming up. That is also because of this extension which I have added. So it is saying caption is missing. So let's do one thing. Caption equals to, let's say, generated per. Okay. Now you see again, after even added this caption, I get one more warning. And what that warning is, the caption of the permission set object should not exceed 30 characters. Use max length parameter 30 or locked equals to true to ensure that you don't need any translations. Which, if I disable this, you are not getting anything, right? And sometimes, maybe in order to meet the deadlines, in order to uh, execute or implement your extension in a more faster way, you might ignore all such basic things which will create problems after your implementation, right? User might get an error that uh, user have to manually add the permissions for your objects which you are introducing in your extension, which will be very toxic, I would say, in case you are introducing hundred of objects, right? So permission set must be generated, and of course, if you are adding any sort of captions, tooltips, then the warning which I'm getting now after enabling this is very important because we have to respect the standard rules. For example, it is saying that caption permission property should not be exceed 30 characters. Of course, if you want it to be locked because you have not added any translations, if you add the translations, it will not get the warnings. So what I can do here is, uh, so I can add that max length equals to 30, and then locked equals to true, and then comment equals to don't need translations for it, like this, right? So that if any developer, oh, let's say if any developer gets a chance to work on an extension, and if they read this code, they will get to know that for this particular caption, there is no need of any translations, and that's why I added the lock parameter, and the maximum length is also equivalent to 30. Okay, so this is how the things work when you add the cops here. One of the few things which we can see again is like, sorry, let me add on validate on begin end, and let's say if I type commit, and you can see here that as soon as I add commit, I'm getting this warning that commit needs a comment to justify its existence, either a leading or a trailing comment, right? So this is very, very important because sometimes we know that commit is super important that in some scenarios, but of course, if you add commit, we know that if you get any error after the commit, then it will not roll back before the code which already ran before commit, right? So we have to be very, very careful whenever any developer adds any commit, that how it will behave in the functionality end. So sometimes for the other developers who are reading your code, they might don't understand that why you have added the commit, right? So it's better that we pass certain information that if anybody wants to read this, they got to know that why you have added this comment. If you add one comment here, then they will know that this is important for this particular thing, to solve this particular issue. That's why I have added it, something like that, right? So as you can see that as soon as I added one comment before commit, the warnings are gone. If I remove this, warning came back again. Okay, same thing is like, for example, if I type if confirm hello, then message what. So now you see here that I'm getting one more information that confirm must be implemented through the confirm management code unit from the system application. Although using this is not an issue, right? It's not an issue, but it's just that because from the performance perspective, from the rules guidelines perspective, we also make sure that our code is up to the mark, and hence whatever the basic suggestions which we might forget during the development part, uh, we will get to know using this linter cop extension, that we have to add not like this confirmation code, not like this, but via the confirm management code unit. If you don't know about the confirm management code unit, you can see that I've made a video in the past as well. You can go to the technical playlist section and see from there. Okay, so just like this 2, 3, 4 instances which we have seen, in a similar way, there are multiple rules which I have already shown you up here, that you can go to the GitHub, and from here, if you open this particular thing, you will be able to see about all the rules which come across when you install this particular extension in the VS Code. So I recommend you to please install this and have a look over it and make your code more performative and more, I could say, good enough for the other developers to read and uh, compatible with the upcoming Business Central versions as well. Right? So that's been the today's video. If you like it, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.